In this video, I'm going to talk about my rebound from Google Antigravity, comparing Claude Code and Codex as a business operator. We'll talk about each, and then we'll talk about what I'm actually doing day to day, which is running both in the same vault every single day. I'll break down exactly what each is particularly good at, and then we'll talk about which I would go with if you had to pick just one. So big news in AI land, or vibe coding, or whatever it is Antigravity is now everybody's least favorite platform, at least people that aren't on the Ultra plan. Though I did see a couple folks upgraded to Ultra and had their Pro rate limit still continue, which it's just a bloodbath. So with everybody jumping ship, it's a good time to talk alternatives. This isn't gonna be like a one-to-one comparison benchmark sort of video like you see a lot on YouTube. That's not what I'm all about. This is literally like, how do we get work done this week? You know, what is actually best for our real life day-to-day workflows? Because I don't have a computer science degree. I don't come from a coding background. I ran a moving company, right? Like I lifted heavy things and I put them down. I got into AI to fix my own business problems, real life headaches, and then I figured it out by doing. You know, failed forward, followed the breadcrumbs until I became good at this stuff. So when I compare these two tools, I'm not talking about which writes better code, because at this point they're both very good. I'm talking specifically about which one actually runs my business, like how to actually run the business. Okay, so Codex, let's talk about that first. First thing is Codex is running GPT 5.4 out of the box right now, which I think is really great. Just came out in March. It's a really, really great model. There's two ways to use Codex in actuality. You can run it in the terminal, or they've got this fancy desktop app, which is really handy if you're dealing with migration from Antigravity. You can also run it in VS Code. The other thing I think is very smart that OpenAI is doing is it's positioning itself as the best combo of rate limits and token usage, but the kind of caveat to that is currently there's a promotion running where you get 2 times rate limits on any paid plan, which is great. Like, this is definitely not a coincidence. They saw the writing on the wall for Antigravity and they're trying to catch all of the Google refugees with this sort of thing. This is the specific problem people have been complaining about with Claude Code and Antigravity, is the rate limits. So OpenAI is like, come on, all ye weary, and enjoy 2 times rate limits. Just full transparency, we don't know what the rate limits are going to be like after this promotion is over. So that's just a thing. I'm not saying that they're going to pull the rug out. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying be advised that the current rate limiting and your current usage patterns are going to change in the next couple weeks for sure. So with that, what is Codex actually good at? I found an article that mirrors my experience and my opinion of these things really closely, so I'm going to refer to that. It's by Morph. They put it out on February 28th, but it was updated yesterday, so we're going to reference this because this is accurate as far as I can tell. Go figure, the model that uses 4 times more tokens wins more benchmarks. So anyway, that's a kind of TLDR. So let's actually just take a quick look at where Codex is better, where we found. Where it wins is for spec-driven workflows. If you give it like clear guardrails, like a like it said, spec-driven workflows, it tends to just like go and complete the task in the background without a lot of prompting needed. So for example, in my Obsidian vault, which I do a lot of my work in, I had it run yesterday while I was using Claude Code for something else, and I just told it to, I needed the wikis sort of sorted out, like just some folder organization stuff, and it's just like, yeah, 100% know what you're talking about. Came back to it later, it's doing fine. So this says greenfield projects, Codex is actually a winner. So starting from scratch, where it's not refactoring a bunch of different stuff, Codex is actually way better at scaffolding than any other model available right now. Long autonomous sessions, Codex wins. Budget conscious teams, this is a big one. Because Codex uses less tokens, they're arguing that the GPT Plus plan actually outperforms Claude Pro in terms of token usage and rate limiting. Cool. They're also arguing that Codex is measurably better than Claude in the terminal. Scored 77% over Claude Opus 4.6 in real world terminal task completion. So Codex, and I can attest to this, Codex is fantastic for like task completion and just like give it something to do, have a measurable sort of success criteria or a list of, you know, tasks that it should complete, and it just like goes off and does it, which is fantastic. This hasn't included Codex's recent update for multi-agents in the terminal, which just came out. I haven't even looked at that myself, but if you're using Codex in the app, you can do the same thing. Sub-agents in Codex, try now. It's laid out a little bit like Antigravity's agent manager. So you can, let's build in the playground, or you can add a new project and that'll pop open your folder and you can do that sort of thing. So you can run a bunch of different agents in here. So Codex, I don't use it as much in the desktop app, but this does give you like a very usable platform for a one-to-one replacement for what used to be possible in Antigravity. Then over to token usage, because this is the topic of the week, I guess. So they found that Codex is actually significantly more token efficient than Claude Code, and that's not necessarily a waste. Okay, so I'm going to read from here. It says it correlates with more thorough deterministic outputs. Claude does a lot of thinking out loud. It asks more clarifying questions, and it just kind of goes through more iterations than Codex does. All right, so that's why it's doing a little bit more digging, which isn't necessarily a good or bad thing. It just is. It's two fundamentally different philosophies. Codex is really trying to be efficient and as straight a line path as possible to the goal, whereas Claude feels like that extra thinking and token usage relates to more deterministic outcomes. Awesome. So as far as pricing goes, these are changing all the time, so I'm not going to go too much, but I started using Codex with my GPT Plus plan, which is $20 a month, American, that is. And with this new promotion, it's actually, I haven't run into rate limiting ever, especially because I do give it clear directives and I have, skills that it can use, and it knows exactly what it's doing. It doesn't do a lot of like thinking or connecting dots for me. Okay, so that's Codex inside of a nutshell. Next, we will talk about Claude. I think that Anthropic has the best models in the world, and I also think that what they're doing with all of their different frameworks and their desktop app and all that stuff is fantastic. Claude Code subscription right now is baller, not just because of the power you get. Anybody that's used the Opus models knows that it just gets you there faster than pretty much everything else. Token usage, rate limits, all that be damned. They're just better, okay? And they're really making these apps like user-friendly and intuitive. Again, it's built out like the agent manager for Antigravity. You can use this in VS Code. It's got a bunch of different plugins, but the desktop app for Claude right now is awesome. It's got the chat that we're all used to, so just the quick back and forth. Claude Cowork as well is included, which is an automation platform, which is actually fantastic. It's also blowing up the internet. And then Claude Code desktop app, which is also really, really great. So, I mean, this is cool and all, but like if you're talking about replacing Antigravity, you're probably more likely going to be wanting to use these inside of VS Code, which I touched on a bit ago. All of these providers have extensions and apps to use inside VS Code. And then you can also tie this in with the Copilot in VS Code. We'll talk about that later. Or you can use them in the terminal, right? Either one. This is using GPT 5.4 by default, like it says. This is probably the workflow that's most like what you would want. I've got a lot of friends that use this workflow exactly, using Claude Code in VS Code. The terminal part of that, and then they've got access to their Explorer. They've just got the same sort of visibility in hands like they did, like the reason why we all liked Antigravity. There's also the Copilot extension you can get for VS Code. That's worth talking about here too. It is like literally the same workflow as Antigravity, but just in VS Code. I haven't really used this too much yet, so I'm not going to talk about that, but you can bring in your own models to it like this, so you can like DIY, build out your own Antigravity. So let's go back to Morph and see what they think about Claude Opus over Codex. They're saying that Claude wins in multi-agent orchestration. They just have more practice with it. Claude's agent teams let you split out complex refactoring across whatever. The caveat to that is exorbitantly expensive. And if we're talking rate limits and usage and stuff, agent teams are a bad idea. They're also suggesting that Opus is better at sticking strictly to plan. They say that Codex often goes off plan when it thinks it knows better. I haven't quite experienced that too much myself, but these guys put these through a little bit more stressful tests than I ever have. For average everyday use, that doesn't really come into play, I've seen, right? Like I said, it refactored my entire Obsidian vault and I found no issues. I had Claude review it and it's all good. I reviewed it myself, not just Claude. It looks good. Anyway, so massive code base navigation with the 1 million context window. That is better for Opus. I tend to agree. The fact, if you're putting your agents through that though, like to be honest, man, you shouldn't be involved in the rate limiting conversation because you're not that audience. So, I mean, yeah, it's cool and it works in terms of like long context and that's awesome. But like practically speaking, just another vanity metric. Custom automation and webhooks, Claude kicks the shit out of Codex. I agree. Claude hooks are awesome. If you're not aware of what they are, they're like automations. It gives your agent hands. It can trigger automated actions on events, right? So for example, anytime I make an edit in my Obsidian vault, there's a bunch of different hooks that are connected to these different things. Up to and including, it's kind of fun, playing a noise whenever your agent is complete a task. Okay, so the reason I picked this article to use as a reference is because their solution is use both. And that's exactly what I do. Not just in terms of like stretching limits and making sure that you can use things throughout the day, which is how I started using it. I actually found, like they said, these two tools complement each other really, really well. I find Codex is kind of like more the workhorse, like the boots on the ground type agent, and Claude is more of like the manager, organizational, like they say here. It's exactly the same thing. So you can prototype with Codex, you can review with Claude, refactor with Claude, and then the final polish with Codex, like they're saying, right? Quick fixes and formatting, Codex is very, very good at. Their suggested workflow seems really dev oriented, and I told you that's not what we're going to talk about, but it does work in the context of business owners. You can use Codex kind of more like your intern, I guess, doing a little bit more labor intensive tasks because it is so token efficient, but you can use Claude to like organize things, maybe do more thinking intensive tasks like that. It's kind of a better brain than Codex. Codex is a workhorse though. So what's Eric actually running in real life? As promised, this is what I'm actually doing. So I've got this set up in a similar sort of fashion to how I had Antigravity in this Obsidian vault. Okay, so I've got my terminal here where I've got Claude Code and Codex running. There's the viewer here where I can see all my different projects. It's also got the web browser extension, which is sweet. The Copilot app, I get to actually like talk to all the different notes, but to be honest, I generally do it through here anyways. And then my full file organization system. So the reason I like this workflow best is because I control everything, right? I've got local access to all my memories, all my skills, all that sort of stuff that you got with Antigravity. And I can run whatever agent I want in here in tandem. I can have it spin up whatever I need. I've got all of my different skills and workflows in here. So these are all my different like Claude skills. And again, the workflows that I had put together with Antigravity, like in the morning, I have a brief done where it checks my calendar, my Gmail, it looks through my daily notes and my log, and then it tells me what I should be doing in the day. I can keep notes here. It's got all of the functionality of like a fully fleshed out second brain. And it's got all the, advantages of using an IDE because I can do this here. I can go to Claude Code and I can use my slash commands in here too and just run whatever Claude skills are downloaded, and everything's working great. I think Obsidian is particularly strong for this application because it's got all these different bells and whistles and like different plugins. I can build Kanban boards, I can do Excalibur, PDFs, all sorts of stuff. Like I said, the web browser, DuckDuckGo search. I can clip things and then put it immediately into my agent memory, all that stuff. I can run the agents from here. It's just kind of the universal remote that I really wanted Antigravity to be, but it is not. Something else that's worth noting is a lot of folks are talking about how Claude Code is easier for memory because they have this like Claude MD file. Codex does that too. A lot of how these agents behave is how you set them up. So you really want to make sure that the MD document that they're reading off the top and the memory has clear instructions of how they should act. Okay, like for example, I have all of my agents instructed to log every event in the daily calendar or in the daily notes. I have them instructed to push to GitHub on edits and like all this stuff. That sort of quality of life doesn't go down to one model over the other. It goes to how you actually orchestrate this in production. So with that said, I promised I would pick one. I'm going to say Claude Code, not because Codex is bad. Like Codex is legitimately awesome, especially with GPT 5.4. It's no joke. It's just Claude tends to get you there easier. Opus 4.6 is overall the best model in the world right now. Sonnet 4.6 is the best daily driver in my opinion. If you're talking budget, just in terms of pricing plans and stuff, GPT has the same issue that Antigravity has, where they've got the $20 plan and then the $200 max plan, whereas Claude's got $20, $100, and $200. So even if you wanted to up your usage with the better models, you could bump that up 5 times with the $100 max plan. And honestly, like the real wild card is what Codex looks like in April, because things are going to change again. So my real answer is use both. I think the most practical course of action is just pick one and set up your workspace so that it really works for you. Like make sure your skills are working for you. Make sure your agents have the, correct manners and take care of business in the way that suits you. I've got this browser open in my community. That's not totally by accident, because if you like the look of this Obsidian vault, I've actually got it available here for you to pick up and download yourself. You just click this guy and you can get all 28 or I'm up to 32 now. And that gets you the whole thing, including the different slash commands and the behaviors that I was talking about, where you can log everything as you go. That's all available in the community right there. I already did the legwork for you, so that's beneficial. Let me know in the comments what you're using, whether it's Claude Code or Codex, or if you stuck it out with Antigravity, and make sure you subscribe for more content just like this, because this is all we do. Check the link in the description to get my Obsidian vault for yourself, and we will see you in the next one.